card game anime are becoming a dying breed. Rather, it's industry veteran Yu-Gi-Oh! Having no announcements as to what is coming next for its series, nor new up-and-coming superstar Shadowverse Flame also having no announcements of follow-ups or next franchise iterations. It's leaving many card game anime fans wondering, where do we go from here? It also doesn't help that many card games are choosing to be more IP focused to get in both the collectors as well as new players, and they obviously don't need a new anime just to sell the card game. That's why it already exists. So, it does leave many of us to have to look to Cardfight Vanguard to get our fix of cartoon people playing children's card games. And this can be a good and a bad thing. For those of you who may not know, Cardfight Vanguard has had some historically bad anime. Like, there have been seasons of this show that have been so bizarrely bad, that went so out of their way to be shit, it has left many of us flabbergasted and waking up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night thinking, wow, Aichi is a little piece of shit. And unfortunately, the current iteration of the franchise, Cardfight Vanguard Divinez, has had similar trouble, in particular, it having a pretty horrendous second season. However, it does give me great joy to say that Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe arc, God, I hate these names, Deluxe Finals arc, has absolutely nothing you expect from a standard card game anime in it. There is no saving the world. There is no destiny, no chosen ones, no super magic rare cards that only one person gets. Okay, there's some cards that I think only one person owns, but that is never the focus. Cardfight Vanguard Divinez is 100% about a bunch of teens figuring out what they want out of life. And god damn it, that is the theme these shows should have. The real world of trading card games is so beyond these silly little fantasies anymore, with so much of its own culture and so many people having been brought up in it and had their lives shaped by it. I want to see more series talk about that. I want more stuff like Shadowverse Flame, which up until the end there was mostly just a coming-of-age teen drama. And I think this lack of a desire to evolve with where card games has gone is also what's holding Yu-Gi-Oh! Back. So to see Cardfight Vanguard fully embrace that and make that the focus is just really great, especially because Cardfight Vanguard is always at its best when it focuses on melodrama, when it feels like more of a soap opera. That may sound crazy, but I'll tell you this much, I cared a lot more about, is Akina gonna figure out how to confess to now, more than I ever cared about, is Aichi, Chrono, or anyone else gonna save the fucking world. So we're going to take some time, and I just want to talk about the different things that really stood out about this season to me, what really allowed for it to flourish, and how I hope it can give influence and others can take lessons from it going forward. So yeah, let's begin right with where last season ended. It's the final rounds, baby! Akina and a bunch of other characters have moved on to the Deluxe Finals, which includes bringing in a couple other people because plot, and or at least like two other people. I don't know. It's not overtly important. What matters is that this season makes sure to give every character time to talk about what's been going on in their lives and how they're growing as people. This is meant to contrast the big theme of the story, which is our main character Akina, who doesn't really quite know where he wants to go in life. Last season dealt a lot with people asking him directly to his face, what do you want? Rather it's, do you want now to be your girlfriend? Do you want to pursue card games as a profession? Do you even really know what it means to want anything? This is a guy who spent most of his life taking care of his sick sister who isn't sick anymore. He doesn't have a destiny anymore. He's not part of some big supernatural MacGuffin or whatever. He just kind of needs to figure out where he's going in life. A theme that many people can relate to, especially viewers who are the age range that this show is targeted to. I'm seeing a lot of uptick in Akina popularity the last several months we've been in this arc, and I think it's because people just find him so much more relatable now that he's just trying to find his way in life. And I love how you see other characters who did, but maybe not quite in the way you expected. The main thing I'm talking about is bringing previous series protagonist Yu back in what is honestly his worst outfit. What the fuck is he wearing? But when Yu showed up and he said, I'm a fashion student. I'm currently in Paris on this super cool internship learning how to design clothes. I sat there and I was like, huh? What? Was that a thing he talked about previously? I don't know. Partially because I don't want to go back and check. But also, I'm like, but he's a card game anime protagonist. He should want his whole life to revolve around Vanguard, right? Well, why should it? From what I do remember from when Yu was the main character, Vanguard was new to his life. He had 14 years to grow and be a person before that. And when Vanguard came in, it had a very strong influence on him and it changed things for him, but he is still that person, and the life's journey he'd be on still continues, just with more things going on. So to see that, when push came to shove, he did want something different out of life. He didn't necessarily want to be like Toya or Donji and have his whole life revolve around card games. He had other interests and other things he wanted to pursue. Vanguard will always be a passion for him, but there's more to life than just Vanguard. Being able to show that for Akina, I thought was a really interesting element. I also love the way that this plays up for Erica, I guess is what we're supposed to call her. It's kind of weird, she just changes her name. The idea of someone who, and again, this does pull from the supernatural element. This is a girl who lost her entire reality and is basically alone, living in a world she doesn't belong in or knows where she's supposed to go, which kind of sounds like a lot of people, just take out the time travel aspect. So to see her struggle as she tries to figure out what does she want, where does she go? Is it professional Vanguard? Is it worth pursuing? Where does her life go from here? I like how that journey was represented. I like how she does things like have conversations with her past self. I like the way Gabuelius comes in as like her little Jiminy Cricket. I thought all of that was really strong. And again, seeing how the community really embraced this whole arc, I thought was really nice to see. You also see other characters who maybe didn't get the quite arc resolution they needed in the previous series, get it here. Rather, it's characters like Urara. Rather, it's characters like Megumi finally getting a little more time and showing where she's going in life. Rather, it's learning the origins of Blackout and how everyone's lives kind of maybe went in different directions, but because they had a hobby like Vanguard to bring them back, it then led to them being able to reunite. You, of course, also have the return of Michiru, who, of course, in the last series was in a coma, and I didn't really like Michiru, so he could have died for all I care. But he's back here, and seeing how he, despite being kind of a sociopath, I feel like at times, is trying to grow as a person, and seeing how he's inspired and influenced by Akina and his card fight with him, I thought was really nice. Now, some people I imagine might be a little disappointed as because of the structure of the show, other characters who just don't really need to be here aren't here much. I remember really liking all the Suo stuff, but of course, he's not super involved with this arc. Although that card fight with him and Erica was, that was so fucking perfect. Such a beautiful arc and direction to take that character. I absolutely loved it. But just everything here was strong. Even giving the cat girl her own episode, giving the other lyrical girl who's been very much pushed to the sidelines a little time to shine. While I think that the pacing can be a little awkward because characters kind of just come in and out whenever they're remembered. And yes, it's obviously based around who's getting support. They took the time to make everyone feel special and important, and that's what I really want. I want characters to have arcs. I want them to grow as people. I want to care about them as people, and Cardfight Vanguard Divine season whatever we're on did that. And I'm really scared because it looks like the next arc we're going back to supernatural bullshit, and I don't want it. I really don't. Some of you may say that's not fair, but Cardfight Vanguard fucks this up constantly. So I'm a little worried, but we'll check in on that in what, like 3 months time? But yeah, give me your thoughts about this season of Cardfight Vanguard below. Do you want more like this? Do you like your supernatural bullshit? I can kind of get behind that. But yeah, give me your thoughts about that in the comment section below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me as we see where the future of card game anime goes.